Hello Roosevelt students, this is Mr. Roble, and this is another lab that I'm going to be doing for you as a video. Today we're going to be doing the rock cycle lab. Now this copy that I'm going to show you is the general copy. If you have accelerated, it will look a little bit different from this, but it will pretty much be the same thing. They are slightly different, but the lab itself is the same. It's just the research is a little bit different, and the rock cycle at the end, the diagram that you have to do, that's a little bit different too. But otherwise, they should be the exact same as far as the lab itself goes. So let's start up at the top for the purpose. And again, if you don't have a copy of this, like I say in all the videos, if you don't have a copy, you can either get one from your teacher's classroom, or more than likely you can download one from your teacher's website or your teacher's grade book. The purpose, it says, I can use the rock cycle to describe the formation of rocks. The materials that we're going to be using are tin foil, some candy chips, so we have some white chocolate chips, some milk chocolate chips, and some butterscotch chips. We're going to use a knife so that we can cut the chips up into small pieces. We're going to have two heavy-duty books so that we can press down on the chips once we have them chopped up, and a paper towel. There is the research to do at the top, so please finish that, and you can use your notes. They'll help you quite a bit with the research. So part one, it says weathering, erosion, and deposition. Cut each chip into halves or quarters on the paper towel. And then it asks you a question. What do you think that these chips will represent? Then there's another question for number 2. Number 3 says on one half of the aluminum foil, pile the 3 types of chips together. Each color represents one type of sediment or mineral. Number 4 is another question, and I'm going to actually pause the video now. I'm going to cut up the chips, so I'll show you what it is that they look like. So we have the white chocolate chips. We have, I don't know if you'll be able to see these, but they're milk chocolate chips. And then there's butterscotch chips. And I'm going to cut them up now, and then I'll show you the second part of the lab. All right, so what I've done was right here, number 3, under part 1, where it says on one half of the aluminum foil, pile the 3 types of chips together. Each color represents one type of sediment or mineral. So I have the chips right here. So I'm trying not to spill them, but I chopped up the white chocolate and butterscotch ones, and the milk chocolate ones are already really small. So I cut them up. You can see how they're different colors, so they kind of represent different minerals that would make up rocks. Now I'm going to move on to part 2, where it says, number 1, fold the top of the foil over the chip layers. Place this between 2 heavy books and apply light pressure for 10 seconds. Remove and open the foil package. What happened? And then there's a few, I guess, 2 questions to answer with that. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll show you what happens. So I apply light pressure to the chips in between 2 books, and you can see that they flattened out, and some of the minerals or some of the pieces of the chips are starting to stick together. So I definitely have something that's happening here, but again, it was only 10 seconds that I put them between the books. So if I look on part 2, says fold the top of the foil over the I'm sorry, I got to go down to part 3. Sorry about that. Part 3 says fold the foil over the chips again and put the foil between the 2 books again. Using 2 sets of hands, push as hard as possible against the books for 1 minute. Remove and open the foil package, and what has happened. So I'm going to put it between the books again, but this time I'm going to do it for 60 seconds, and I'm going to push extremely hard. And then I'll show you what happens. So this time I pressed down extremely hard for 1 minute, and now you can see they're even flatter. It might be hard to tell from this camera angle, but they were squished down quite a bit more than the first time, and they're all stuck together at this point. So there's nothing that's very loose. They've all kind of cemented together. So that is pretty much the last part of the lab with the chips. If you had them at home, you could eat them. In class, we were able to eat them when we were done. And there are a few questions that you answer after that, number 2, 3, and 4. And then for the igneous rocks, you just have to use your imagination. Remember that an igneous rock is one that gets heated up and melted. So you have to use your imagination for part 4, for these 4 questions. Actually, there's 3 questions. Number 4 says you can eat it if you'd like. Finally, at the bottom, there's the rock cycle diagram, which you have to fill out. You can use this section in your book, 3.1, or your notes to help you. Thanks for watching, and I hope this lab was valuable, and I'll see you for the next lab. Have a good day.